Hello student, currently we are learning the very important lecture from the H. Robert philosophy, that is, what has homeopathy to offer the young man. In previous lecture we learned what qualities should be applied or what qualities should be acquired by the physician for the successful practicing homeopathy, and the qualities of the physician are that he should have moral character, he must be honest, hardworking and free from complexes. He should be regular and punctual, polite, sympathetic and dutiful towards sick. He should know or he must know his limitation, and he should be faithful and unprejudiced observer. Of all facts, so that he can grasp the conditions quickly and correctly. Physician should not be lazy, proudy or greedy or crazy for fame, and he must possess the optimistic view towards life. By acquiring all these character, he should be a very successful practitioner in homeopathy. Let us revise the previous lecture little bit. What is the important thing? Dr. H. Robert advised that he should have a very stability in his character and don't have the mercurial character or temperament, and should not be influenced by the external atmosphere, and should not be influenced by the huge and very attractive advertise of the pharmaceutical company, and should be stick up to the principle of homeopathy. In last lecture we finished up to the man who consider a homeopathy as possible future must be a student of people and willing to become a student of philosophy, and the young man who is equipped and willing to undergo the training for this lifelong task homeopathy has offered to everything to offer. That means the physician who ready for hard working in field of homeopathy, he is ready to spend his time for the lengthy case taking and then the interpretation of the science, and take out the very similar remedy for each individual case. Then homeopathy has lots of things to offer. Here, up to here we finished already. Let us take the next paragraph. In the first place, homeopathy offers to the independent mind an opportunity continually to seek new verification of the natural laws upon which this system of medicine is based. Yes, it is need to stick up to the natural law, stick up to the principle and laws of homeopathy, while he should be a vision to verify or the verification of this natural law in each and every instances in life as well as in case. It open up vast field to the pioneer, and we cannot gauge the distance that eager mind may travel, nor how greatly the interpretation of these laws may influence the civilization of the future. Yes, then while interpreting all these law or understanding of these natural law with very patiently, and this interpretation of the law and how these are all useful for the future generation. Homeopathy offers a life of service to humanity, and it is the only method of healing that surely set the sick man and sick woman on the permanent road to recovery. Yes, you should be you stick up to and you believe firmly on the principle and law of homeopathy, and you believe that by the application of this principle and law and according to homeopathy, you surely set the sick man or sick woman on the permanent road to recovery. That means you must have a knowledge, then you are able to balance or create the balanced state and restore sick to health, not only the rapidly or gently but permanently. This permanent restoration of the health is only possible by the application of homeopathic medicine, and therefore you should believe on that. Health is homeostasis or state of balance, and therefore it is duty of a physician to maintain this balance, and if there is any deviation from the state of health, re-establish this state of health, isn't it? We must remember that though we may fail, the failure is ours. It is not the failure of homeopathy. Yes, unfortunately, we are not success to achieve this health to the patient. Remember that whatever is a failure, it is of ours. It is not the failure of homeopathy, because this application of the principle of homeopathy is according to the limitation of this that particular individual physician, isn't it? How he acquired this skill and how he applied his skill in the practice, this science and art of homeopathy, it proves that or how he applied the science of and art of homeopathy in his practice, isn't it? It is totally depend on his application of this science in his practice, isn't it? Therefore, homeopathy, the principle of homeopathy, these are firm as heel, while the application is differ from person to person, that is from physician to physician, and therefore whatever is error, it is error occurred which are not or for this error which are occurred, the homeopathy is not responsible for that error, isn't it? It is the whole responsibility of the physician himself. Have got this? And therefore you should not blame homeopathy. The better knowledge we have of the tool of our trade, the better use we should make of them. Yes, for the application of the tool of our trade, that means the tool of our this application or your practice, it is nothing but the better knowledge. You should be always hard work to reach to the, and to first you believe firmly on the principle, isn't it? And then if there is any unsuccess is there or failure is there, then you should not blame on the principal, while you have to correct or you have to improve your knowledge, or what you should find out where the mistake is happen, or and then try to improve your knowledge, then you can succeed in a further case, isn't it? Therefore you have a knowledge, the better use of our science. Homeopathy treats the sick individual. It is therefore a speciality. Yes, homeopathy treats the sick individual. Here he directly indicates that it is not the organ, not the system, and not the any pathological changes occur during the course of disease, while homeopathy treats the sick individual, that is a sick as a person, patient as a person, and the holistic concept is there, sick as a whole. Therefore it is a speciality. Yes, this type of philosophy is not or never found in another school of medicine, and therefore it is a speciality of homeopathy in which patient consider as a whole, a patient consider as a person, and not classified the disease organ in various fragments and never treat them individually. While in homeopathy patient, the holistic concept is there, patient as a whole. It is a speciality. In spite of the trend towards group practice, group thinking, and even group mode of life as seen all about us today, we have yet to be convinced that the man is not greater than the mass, and that as long as intelligent thinking people realize and prize their individuality, the individual approach will hold an appeal to them. Yes, human being is a social animal. It is called as a social animal, and it is a fashion to study the group of human being, group of people, isn't it? And it is a grand generalization. That means whatever is applicable for the group, it should be applicable for the individual person, isn't it? And there is a concept that it is a man is not greater than the mass. Yes, here give the importance to the group of people, not the individual patient, not the individual person. While it is remembered that the group of people made up of the different individual persons, different individual man, isn't it? Therefore the individuality is very unique character. Though there is a group of people, and though the morphological structure of the each and every human being alike or same, still they are very different personalities, and the very different personality and the possession of very different personality, isn't it? And therefore while treating the individual patient, you should not be considered or you should not be generalize this individual patient and don't apply the rule of group or rule of mass to the individual one. Therefore homeopathy offers a special inducement to the man who can teach people to think and act as individual and to demand medical treatment as individuals. And therefore nowadays there is important to the groupism or make the or apply the rule for mass or the generalization of everything is there. It is a speciality of homeopathy. Homeopathy offers a special inducement. Inducement means to do something or pursue something. It is a specialty of homeopathy to do something to the man who can teach people to think and act as individual. Yes, it is a very different philosophy of homeopathy which teaches us that every person is individual and to think and act as individual, isn't it? And therefore to demand medical treatment as individual. That is the individualistic concept. You should be give more importance to the individual concept rather than the generalization of the patient, isn't it? This generalization of the patient occur whenever we rely on the diagnosis of the disease, and whenever you whenever you try to select the medicine according to the diagnosis or according to the common symptom of the disease. This type of practice totally devoid of the concept of individualization, and therefore being homeopath you should be concentrate on the individualistic characteristic feature of the individual and try to understand how they think and act as individual. Try to understand their personalities which is differ from any other person, isn't it? Let us take the next paragraph. Homeopathy considers the man as a whole, not just his individual parts. Therefore, primarily homeopathy has less appeal for the man of mechanical bent, for it is this man who makes the best surgeon. Instead, homeopathy offers a gentler way towards health of the entire individual. Yes, homeopathy view towards the sick is a man as a whole. He never classified the man or human being into different individual parts. Therefore, there is no mechanical bent. That means it is not, a human body is not only the collection of the different organ, because man of the mechanical bent means it is not simply the collection or assembling of the different organ, while something more is there. That is the immaterial, invisible, spiritual life, that is the vital force. For it is this man who make the best surgeon. Yes, this classification is only required for the surgical point of view. Whenever any surgeon try to operate any patient, then this mechanical concept of the human being is important. While whenever we try to offer the conservative treatment or the homeopathic treatment to the human being, then you should be consider every individual as a different one and the body as human being as a whole, not classified in a different organ, because you have to treat the patient mentally, physically, then and the particular aspect as well as the spiritual aspect of the life. Let us take the next paragraph. One thing the student must consider in the differentiation between medicine and public health service. Yes, here we must try to understand the differentiation between medicine and public health service. Yes, this medicine is which you provide for the individual person, while in public health services you have to consider the mass of the people, or you have to this generalization, or it is a group of people, whatever is the services which is provided for the group of people. The public health service ideally has to do with the prevention of disease in the community. In guarding food and water supplies, in providing facilities and restrictions for adequate healthy housing condition, and in attending to the proper disposal of waste matter, so that the health of the community will be guarded against epidemic borne by impure water, milk or other food supplies, or born in insanitary or unhygienic condition. Yes, nowadays these public health services are very much important, because we are in a very dangerous stage of the pandemic of coronavirus. Therefore, it is this information is very much relevant. In this case, large number of people get affected by the similar type of infectious disease, isn't it, which is highly communicable, and in this condition you should not treat, or you can't treat the patient individually, isn't it, and because the whole community, a large number of people affected at the same time. Yes, the individuality is definitely there, but whenever such type of epidemics or pandemic occur, you have to consider the mass of people, isn't it, you have to consider the group of people for the treatment point of view. Here it is very relevant point, and you have a very great scope in public health services, which is ideally work for the prevention of disease in the community. And community health depend on various factors, for example water supply, sanitation, reduction of birth rate, mosquito control, medical education, and the research and prevention and cure of various diseases, isn't it, and therefore the prevention of disease is essential for reducing the premature death rate, and successful treatment of so-called incurable disease is essential to save millions of valuable lives dying of those diseases every year. And therefore this prevention of disease in community is very much important, and by the experiment you know that this prevention of the disease or the various type of diseases occur because of this the unhygienic condition of the life, and therefore in society you have to manage all these things which guiding of food and water supply. Yes, it is a right of each and every people to have a proper and pure water supply, and you have to concentrate also the providing facilities and restrictions for adequate healthy housing condition. Yes, the housing condition and where the residing places should be in a healthy environment and healthy places, in attending to the proper disposal of waste matter. And yes, this proper disposal of wastewater and garbage, it is very essential because these are the sources of diseases, and therefore you have to strictly apply the very strict rule regarding the disposal of waste, so that the health of the community will be guarded against epidemics borne by impure water, milk and other food supplies. Yes, every physician, every health worker should have a knowledge of the how the diseases are born from this unhealthy situation, unhygienic condition, and therefore for the prevention of the disease you have to apply all these measures. From this, the large group of people may prevent from all these diseases which are arise from the impure water, milk and other food supplies, and therefore this insanitary unhygienic condition should be promptly removed and establish or give the education to the people for maintaining the health cleanliness specifically. For example, the market area, the cleanliness should be maintained in the market area or in the public places. The public toilet should be provided by the government, and the cleanliness is always maintained, because these are all the sources of disease, isn't it? And where the exposure to large number of people is there, and therefore you have to prevent all these conditions which are responsible for the spreading of the all these communicable diseases. Medicine ideally has to do with the cure of disease, the building up of the individual, not overlooking the proper hygiene and sanitation. Yes, in the work of this prevention of disease, homeopathy plays very important role in both of these preventive and therapeutic aspect, and therefore in order to prevent the disease at the individual level or the any particular level, medicine ideally has to do with the cure of disease, the building up of the individual, not overlooking the proper hygiene and sanitation. Yes, as it is applicable for the public health, similarly for the health of the individual, this hygiene and sanitation is very much important, but with a deeper view of the needs of the individual himself. Yes, this only the atmospheric or the external things are not essential for the individual, but as human being, some needs of the individual himself, isn't it? There is a love, affection, then care, all these needs of the individual at the personal level, and these are very important rather than the needs of the community. Yes, at the individual level, this whatever is a need of the individual or along with the hygiene and sanitation, some personal needs are there which are related to his emotional level, and these are also fulfilled, otherwise it may reflected into disease. Let us take the next paragraph. Homeopathic medicine goes even further than this. For homeopathy seeks to relieve the individual as much as possible from the heavy burden of the hereditary tendencies he carries, and to guard against increasing this load by enabling his vital energy to provide its own immunity against disease. Yes, what do you mean by that? Homeopathic medicine, yes, as it is important role in the prevention of the disease, as well as it provides the therapeutics treatment, or at the individual level it also provide this preventive treatment. Homeopathic medicine goes even further than this. For homeopathy seeks to relieve the individual as much as possible from the heavy burden of the hereditary tendencies. Yes, all mans are born with some hereditary tendencies, or you can say dyscrasia or miasm, isn't it? And which are responsible for their increased proneness. Whatever is what miasm they received from their hereditary or from their parent, whatever is a miasm they received from their parent, create the very specific diathesis by the union of his miasm, which is from which he carry from the mother and carry from mother, or it make blend and have a very specific type of diathesis, his own diathesis of the offspring is there, and therefore H. Robert called as it the heavy burden of the hereditary tendencies. Hereditary tendencies means whatever is a miasm he received from his parent, or whatever is a tendencies or the miasmatic pattern he developed during the fertilization, and which carry forward, and these hereditary tendencies create the proneness toward the specific type of disease, isn't it? And therefore this dyscrasia is further influenced after birth by environment, adaptation, and disease producing agent, and the susceptibility of the individual. Therefore in this area, to guard against increasing this load by enabling his vital energy to provide its immunity against disease. That means whenever during the course of life, whenever he influenced by the other or environmental aspect, you can say environmental changes, then the adaptation or any disease producing agent which create the susceptibility to develop a specific type of diseases, isn't it? And you have to provide, or this his vital energy to provide immunity against disease, then you can prevent such type of development. And how these hereditary tendencies develop? Because of the miasmatic pattern, and therefore by the application of the anti-miasmatic remedy, you can cut out the chain of the development of this miasmatic disease and prevent the vital energy from the load of these hereditary tendencies. Homeopathy looks upon the health of the individual as a precious charge, and the return of the individual to health as almost certain if we but follow the fundamental laws. Yes, by the application of the individualization, you have to consider the miasmatic pattern, the constitution of the patient, the susceptibility of the patient, the diathesis of the patient, and what is by assessing his miasm or dyscrasia, you can plan the treatment of the with the anti-miasmatic remedy, and by following the fundamental law, that is the theory of chronic disease and all these cardinal principle of homeopathy, you can return of the individual to health as almost certain, isn't it? You definitely help your patient at the individual level. In order to prevent or cure a disease, we are to take care of both the disease producing agent and the susceptibility of the individual person, isn't it? Therefore you try to concentrate on the hygienic measures like water supply, ventilation, sunlight, or these habits. These are all at the individual level, and which create or which is responsible to make the patient hypersensitive or exposure to any unavoidable circumstances. Then let us take the next paragraph. Another growing distinction between public health service, so-called, and medicine, especially homeopathic medicine, is increasing use of serum and vaccines. Yes, while in the aspect of the public health services, that is the large number of people, and the medicine, the application of the medicine to the large number of people, and especially homeopathic medicine, how we try to treat the group of people, or in the case of this epidemic, whenever the similar diseases occur at the same time and large number of people get affected at the same time with same disease, then you have homeopathy has a great scope to treat the patient with specific medicine, isn't it? It is not a serum and vaccine, while the allied sciences believe to treat the patient with serum and vaccine, and therefore in this COVID-19 situation, everyone tried to find out the vaccine against this coronavirus, isn't it? And which take a very or in this very critical period, the research on the vaccine is going on, but up till and until this vaccine will discover, then almost corona will be finished. What is the use of then this vaccine, isn't it? While it is a scope of homeopathic medicine in the epidemic cases by the prescription of the genus epidemicus, you can say, which act as a preventive as well as curative. Have you got this? It has been claimed that these preparations are really homeopathic. Even instructors in the homeopathic colleges have thought thus to demonstrate homeopathic principles. Let the young man consider this logically. Yes, the serum and vaccines, these are the crude disease producing material, that is these are the antigen, antisera, antibodies, isn't it? The serums are there which are produced from the disease, these are just like a nosodes, isn't it? The disease discharges are there, and therefore these are considered as a homeopathic one. But these are not the homeopathic one. What is the difference between the serum and vaccine? Let us try to understand. It has been claimed that these preparations, that is the serum and vaccines preparations, are really homeopathic. Even instructors in the homeopathic colleges have thought thus to demonstrate homeopathic principle. Yes, while we introduce the homeopathy and explain the principle of homeopathy, in various colleges, these example of the serum and vaccines these are also considered as a homeopathic preparation, but these are not. Therefore, H. Robert told that let us the young man consider this logically, whether the serum and vaccines are homeopathic preparations or not, while these are administered according to homeopathic principle or not. Let us try to understand. In the first place, giving the identical instead of the similar means the difference between isopathy and homeopathy. Every one of you know the definition of isopathy. Isopathy means use the same pathogenetic discharges as a treatment point of view. Iso means same, the same disease product used for the therapeutic purpose, while in homeopathy it is a similar. Try to understand the difference between the isopathy, the whatever is the discharge occur from the natural disease, while in homeopathy the natural diseases are removed by the drug substances which has a tendency to produce similar symptom in healthy individuals. That is here is a similarity, while it is a same. This similarly, the serum and vaccine, these are isopathic, these are same, these are not homeopathy. You may say that the identical in the case of the serum or vaccine is potentiated somewhat as in homeopathy. Yes, this identical one, this disease product just like a nosode, what happened, These serum and vaccines, these are potentiated somewhat as in homeopathy. Yes, these are potentiated, that is a potentized, diluted somewhat as in according to a method of homeopathy, and therefore removes it from the identical sphere, and therefore these are not considered as a isopathic preparation or the identical one, while these are considered as a homeopathic one. But what happened? Although potentiated, it does not alter the fact. Yes, if it is potentiated according to the homeopathic method, but it is not the in a higher potency, and the very crude, whenever this medicine or serum or vaccines are potentiated, the crudeness of this vaccine and serum remain as it is, and therefore it does not alter the fact that it was not in the first place similar, but it is identical. In the second place, it has been potentiated in mass production and potentiated and filtered not through an inert substance but through living creatures. Yes, whatever is the potentiation or this filtration or the purification of the vaccine and serum, these occur in the mass production, and these are all obtained through the living creatures. These are not the origin or the source of the vaccine and serum is not from the plant kingdom or mineral kingdom, while it is from the living creatures. Every time these living creatures are used for the preparation of these vaccines or obtain the serum or antigen antibodies from the animal, and therefore a lower order of creatures at that, and use the lower order of creature means these are not the human being, while the animals are used. There is a biological law that crossing the blood of higher and lower order of creatures. Yes, human being is a higher order in the biological because of the development, you can say, and the application of brain, and this lower order of creature means destruction to the species, and it is well to consider this. Yes, according to the biological law, crossing of blood means it is a protein based this DNA, RNA, and this mitochondria, the chromosomes of the higher and the lower order of creatures means destruction. Whenever these contains, that is a serum, antigen, antibodies which we obtain from the lower order of animal creatures, when it is crossing with or it is applicable to the human being, it always resulted into the destruction to the species, and it is well to consider this. Yes, try to understand how it is a destructive in nature. Practically, we may well look to the nature of growth in different orders of creatures. Yes, you try to understand how the lower creatures or animals are developed. Practically, we may well look to the nature of growth in different orders of creature. When an animal has longevity of some 20 years and in that time attain a weight of half ton, there must be a rapid cell growth. Yes, the time or the longevity of the lower animal or the whatever is the animal used for the preparation of the vaccine, these are, or it is the horse or cow, and the serum or antigen antibodies whatever is obtained from this lower animal, from horse and cows, it is applied to the human being. See the morphological structure of human being, it is totally differ. It is a 4-leg animal and it is human being is 2-leg animal, and the longevity of the life is also the horse and this longevity of the only the 20 to 25 years, isn't it, while the longevity of the human being is 100 years, it is considered 100 and more than 100 years, and during this 20 to 25 years the weight obtained, yes, it is almost double in weight. In when animal has a longevity of some 20 years and in that time attain a weight of half ton, there must be a rapid cell growth. Yes, at the immediately after birth, the four-leg animal immediately stand up on their leg, isn't it? And it is observed by everyone, and very fastly within a very short time they attain the almost the 80 to 90 kg, more than develop in the very short period, and it is because of the very rapid cell growth. Definitely very rapid growth of the cell and attain a specific weight within very few years rather than the human being. When serum from such a source, though ever so highly filtered, is injected to the human race, where normal longevity is 70 years and where 160 pound might be considered an average weight. Yes, while here H. Robert told the longevity of the human life is 70 years. Here 25 years, here 75 years, and during this course of life, at the middle age or whenever after these 20 to 25 years of age, human being maximum obtain the 160 pounds, 80 kg pounds might be considered an average weight. One can well understand the impact upon the vital energy of the human being, for while the serum is considered by ordinary medicine to be potentiated past all danger, homeopathy believes that the potentiated in any or all form means a more prompt release of power than may have been possible to the normal state, it then being latent. Yes, whenever we prepared the serum and antigen and antibodies from the lower animal, which have the longevity of life is very much short, while they attain a very high weight during a very short period because of the rapid cell growth, and such type of proteins we injected to the human being, and definitely it affect and also induce this quality, isn't it? And whenever there is the union of this serum from lower animal to the higher animal, it definitely resulted into the destruction. One of the outstanding problem today is cancer. Yes, it is responsible for the destruction, that is, and therefore these vaccines are applied very in a huge locality, or you can say or in for the every type of disease they try to find out the vaccine for the preventive measure, isn't it? And therefore this cancer, the destructive disease, may develop. It intrigues the mind of the young man. Yes, this cancer which now frequently observed in community, it intrigues means develop the curiosity. It develop the curiosity, the mind of the young man, and his search for the cause and cure of cancer is indefeasible. Yes, it is why such type of destructive disease now occur in human race. It is this develop the curiosity of the mind of the young man, young physician, and he tried to find out the cause, and the cure of the cancer is indefeasible. Defeatable means never tiring, untiring method, and he continuously study the cause of cancer and how to cure the cancer. This is a challenge to the homeopathic physician as well. Yes, along with the medicine fraternity, this is the challenge for homeopathic field also. Since he has remedial aid that ordinary practice not know. But let the young man consider this problem in the light of public health service and its instance on the use of serum and vaccine. Yes, the homeopathy has a very wide scope in these incurable diseases, because the concept of the homeopathy is very much differ than that of the allied sciences regarding the incurable disease. In allied sciences, whatever is the diseases are considered as a incurable, you can very well treat, or these are all curable according to the homeopathic medicine, isn't it? And therefore, whether this problem, that is a cancer, which is also considered as an incurable disease, and nowadays because of this suppressive treatment, you can say, or because of this complexity of miasm, because of this very bombarding of the vaccination, all these cases are growing on increasing, and you observe in our daily life, most of the people are suffering from this cancerous condition, cancer of this, cancer of that, and all that. The homeopathy has wide scope in the cancer, because it is a challenge to the homeopathic physician. Yes, because our concept regarding the incurable disease is totally different. Homeopathic medicine or homeopathic treatment is totally dependent on the whatever is the symptom arises, and according to the symptomatology, as we try to select the most similar disease, you can apply this type of method, whether it is applicable in this incurable stage or in a cancerous stage. And therefore cancer is not nowadays cancer is not remain the disease at the particular level, while it is a public health problem. It become a public health problem because it frequently occur in, or the large number of people get affected from this cancer, and therefore it is very important to find out the cause of cancer. And while these serum or vaccines are the causative factor, or what is the role of these serum and vaccines for the development of the cancer, as well as find out the treatment for the cancer. Here we finish the lecture. The rest of the part of this lecture we will take in next lecture. Okay, thank you.